So here is Miguel's silver car. This is a 427 cubic inch RHS block. It's trick flow headed, and this is the 98 millimeter billet precision turbo T6 flange. This car is still air to air. When we put it together, we weren't really making a race car out of it. It just kind of turned into it. The cage work was done by a company up the road. This cage is certed to 750. See a precision shifter that's controlled electronically by the big stuff. Got race pack, boost controller, bump box, all the goodies you need. Good evening, YouTube. Headed to the racetrack again today. We have a customer going with us, Miguel. We have his 98 turbo Camaro and his 2002 turbo Camaro. One of them's a race car, one of them was a street car. Just gonna make some passes. We're shaking down the silver car still. That's the one with the 98 millimeter precision billet turbo on it. Aside from that, we've all worked really hard this week, and I have to only work a half day tomorrow, so I'm gonna take it easy and have a couple beers with the guys, and we'll look over both the cars. I'll do a little bit of tech talk. Just hoping for a nice, clean, safe evening at the racetrack. See you there. This is the other car. This is also 427 cubic inches, 88 millimeter Board Warner turbo. A lot more street car stuff on here. So it has a fast intake, truck manifolds, air to air. Just recently moved the radiator, so we have a little bit more room for a bigger turbo when we decide to upgrade. 4L80 transmission. So it looks like tonight I'm going to be running around like crazy. John's here videoing as well, so I'm going to steal some of his clips. I'm going to throw my GoPro on whatever one of Miguel's cars is running, try to get some footage, and give you guys an explanation of what's going on. Both cars he runs Pro Tree on a trans brake, so they both leave hard, they both 60 foot good, and still creeping up on the tune on the silver car. It only makes about 14 pounds of boost right now. We have the ability to run upwards of 30. So we're going to run the red car right now, see what happens. See, I am no longer at the track. I'm actually in my garage. I wasn't feeling well when we were at the track for test and tune. I actually ended up leaving a little bit early. Came home, got some sleep, felt better the next day, so everything is good. So what I'm going to do is go over a little bit of what happened each pass, and even for the passes I wasn't there. The red car that Miguel was driving, the first pass out, started to break up in high RPMs. Usually it's a plug issue with that car. You know, he drives it on the street, so the plugs will get a little worn out and fouled. So he came back, I put a new set of plugs in it while they were out running the silver car, cleared right up. The pass after that, everything went fine. The car made about 20 pounds of boost like it normally does. So he went out there, ran a good number. Can't tell you what it ran. But it was fast enough that he was satisfied, but we still wanted to turn it up a little bit. So I put a few more pounds of boost into the boost controller. He went out and ran it again, ran a little bit faster, so everything was good with that car. No spinning issues, no shifting issues. It took the tune like it was supposed to, so all good. First pass out, everything went like it was supposed to. We left the same tune-up in it as we did the last time we were at the track, making 14 pounds of boost, which is nothing for that turbo. To really work, it needs to make 30, 40 pounds, and then it really comes alive. So after that pass, I checked the data log on it. Air fuel looked good. We made one little adjustment. I turned it up a little bit. Second pass, went out there, went a little bit faster, made about 16 pounds of boost, I believe. The pass after that, in this view, you can hear the Mustang next to him, the green Mustang. The car has a power glide in it, trans brake, two-step, everything. When the guy in the Mustang gets on the two-step, or the trans brake, you can hear that he never hits the two-step, and the car just revs and revs and revs and revs. Sounds like it's turning about 8,000 RPM when he lets go of the button, and it just immediately spins. The red car does what it does, picks the tires up about 6, 8, 10 inches off the ground, and gets on down the track. The last pass that they made on the car was after I left, and before I left I put a pretty hot tune-up in the boost controller. We used an AMS 1000 on that car. I added about 10 or 12 pounds on top of the gate, I can't exactly remember, and I was expecting the car to make about 22 pounds of boost. So what happens in this clip is the car leaves on about 10 pounds, gets out a little bit past the 60 foot when the boost really started to ramp in, and it blew off one of the boost tubes between the intercooler and the engine. That tube has a bead welded around the end of it, so I don't know if a clamp wasn't tight or what happened, but that car made over 30 pounds of boost on the dyno a couple of months ago. Never had an issue, so I'm going to check that out here in the next couple of days, but here's that clip. After each of these cars makes a pass, I check the data log. One car uses HP tuners, the other uses Big Stuff 3. Both are pretty simple to read. I look at things like spark knock on the red car, air fuel, boost levels, make sure that they're shifting where they're supposed to. I had to make a couple adjustments on the silver car because it was shifting too late. The rev limiter on that car is right at 8,000 RPM, it's 7,950. And the one shift was right at 7,900 RPM, so I turned that back a little bit. Every time I add more boost to the boost controller on that car, the shifts take a little bit longer, so I have to turn the shift points back every time we turn it up, and then keep track of where they're at. So if he goes to a track and he only wants to run 14 pounds of boost, he knows where he has to set the shift points. Very successful day at the track. Both cars were pulled back up onto the trailers under their own power. They both made good passes. They both want more power, of course. And we're going to keep working on them, getting them to go faster and faster. Galop Motorsports Park always has excellent prep for their test and tune nights. And lucky for us, it's about 20 minutes from our shop. So we can load up, be down there after we close, before they even start running, do what we need to do, and then we all live pretty close to the track as well, so we just go home and get a good night's rest before we have to work the next day. I'm going to do another tech video here coming up. Give me a suggestion what you want me to talk about. A few people want me to talk about different types of turbos, bolting on turbo kits, stuff like that. We can talk about different types of transmissions. We can talk about boost controllers and how they work, whether you run compressor, charge air, or you run CO2 like Doc does. Let me know what you guys want to see. Be sure you comment, like, and subscribe to this video. And I love reading your comments. I try to respond as fast as I can. Getting very close to 1,000 subs. I can't wait to get there. We're going to do something a little weird when I get to 1,000. Go out and have some fun. Thanks again for watching and have a good night.